What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Game Day with Trey. Of course, this is your host, Trey, and today we're going to talk about this NBA Western Conference Finals Game 4 matchup between the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Dallas Mavericks. All right, so this game will be played at 8:30 p.m. East Coast time. The line did open up at Minnesota plus 2.5. It has since moved to Minnesota plus 1.5, and the over-under was at like 209. Now it's all the way up to 211, guys. All right, so let's talk about this matchup and how these two teams have been playing. The Minnesota Timberwolves have lost 6 of their last 8 games and hope to force a Game 5 on Thursday night. The Timberwolves are 5-2 straight up on the road in these NBA playoffs. Timberwolves are averaging 108 points on 46.7% shooting and allowing 102.1 points on 46.8% shooting. Whereas the Dallas Mavericks have won 7 of the last 8 games and will make the NBA Finals for the first time since 2010-2011 if they win this game here. All right, so the Mavs are 5-2 straight up at home in these NBA playoffs. The Mavs are averaging 107.4 points on 46.9% shooting and allowing 103.9 points on 44.1% shooting, guys. All right, so let's talk about this series, man. In Game 1, all right, I expected a defensive battle. We all expected a defensive battle. And for the last 5 minutes, we got that. Okay, but had it not been for those last 5 minutes, that game was headed over. All right, and I'm going to explain why. So, first quarter, Minnesota came out, drug them 33-27 the first quarter. Second quarter, Dallas came back and scored 32 points to Minnesota's 29 points. Minnesota barely held on to the lead at the end at half. All right, then Dallas won the third quarter 23-21, and they won the fourth quarter 26-22. Like I told you, like the last 5 minutes, there was zero scoring going on for either team. It was strictly defense, guys, and that was what I expected for most of the series, or how the series would pick up. But that's just not how it turned out. That game did end up going over the total. The total for that game was 207.5, and it flew over that total. Okay, the game leaders for that game, Doncic scored 33 points on 12 of 26 shooting, shot 6% from the free throw line, whereas Jaden Daniels led the team, guys. All right, with 24 points, shooting 9 of 15 from the field, 0 free throws. All right, Dallas shot 49.4% from the field that game, whereas Minnesota only came out shot 42.7%. Dallas shot a putrid 24% from 3. Minnesota came out, they didn't do much better. They shot 36.7%, which is not bad, but not great. Okay, Dallas had 13 turnovers in that game. Minnesota had 10. But Dallas out-rebounded them 48-40, guys. And like I always tell you, a lot of times it comes down to that rebounding battle. Now, when you look at Game 2, once again, okay, we expected defense due to the way that defense was at the end of Game 1. You know, we expected it to kind of pick up, and it didn't. All right? Did the same thing at the end of Game 2 that it did at the end of Game 1. And you will see this repeat because this is just happening over and over and over to the Minnesota Timberwolves. They do not know how to close against two veterans like Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. The end of the Game 2 was 109-108. Dallas lost the first quarter. Minnesota won it 32-26. In the second quarter, Minnesota won that 28-22 to take a double-digit lead. Then Dallas did what they do. They scored 31 points to Minnesota's 26 points in the third quarter and 30 points to Minnesota's 22 points in the fourth quarter, guys. Luka Doncic once again led the team with 32 points, shooting 10 for 23 from field goal and 7 of 7 from the free throw line. Naz Reid led the team in points in this game, guys. 23 points, 8 of 13 from the field, 0 free throws. Dallas shot 48.8% from the field, whereas Minnesota shot 41.2%. Dallas shot 38.7% from 3, and so did Minnesota. Dallas only turned the ball over 10 times. Minnesota only turned it over 9. But 44 rebounds to 40 rebounds once again leads Dallas to another victory over the Minnesota Timberwolves in Minnesota. Now, when you look at Game 3, guys, Game 3, we predicted the over, and it actually did go over. All right. Dallas won 116-107. Dallas won the first quarter 33-28. Dallas won the second quarter 27-24. Minnesota marched back 35-27 in the third quarter, but Dallas held them off in the fourth like they always do. Minnesota only scored 20 points, whereas Dallas scored 29 points, guys. All right, now Ant Edwards finally did lead the team in scoring with 26 points on this game, 11-24 from the field, and 4 of 6 from the free throw line. But Luka Doncic, once again, 33 points, 10 for 20 from the field, 8 for 10 from the free throw line. Minnesota shot 50.6% from the field in this game, but Dallas, man, they came out 55.9%, all right, from the field. And then Minnesota shot 30% from 3. You can't do that when Dallas is going to shoot 50% from 3. Minnesota won the turnover battle, 10-14. And they won the rebound battle, 33-32. But if Dallas is shooting 50% from 3, you don't stand a chance, man. And that's exactly how it turned out. Now, let's look at this injury report, man, because we do got a little scare in the injury report and definitely some important news. And it's all on the Dallas side. So Maxi Kleber is finally probable. He's still hampered by that dislocation of the AC joint in the right shoulder, but he is projected to be available for this Game 4 matchup. And that's key because of the fact that Derek Lively is going to be out with, he's dealing with a neck sprain. And he's definitely unlikely to be suiting up tonight versus the Timberwolves in this Game 4 matchup. And to add insult to injury, Luka is questionable, but he's been questionable the whole time. All right, he's still hampered by that right knee sprain. He's yet to establish if he's going to come out for this game, which we all know he will be. Plus, he's still got the ankle for the left ankle and whatever he did to his arm. Like he's banged up, guys. He's as banged up as you can get at this time of the year. But Luka's fighting through it. Okay, he's a big boy, and I think he can do it. All right, so in the last 10 times these teams have met head-to-head, it's 5-5 even. Dallas runs it against the spread 6-4, and it's been 4 to the over and 6 to the under. And they played 3 straight overs in this playoff, guys. They've gone over the 207 and the 207.5, which have been the over-under set for these two teams so far, these 3 games, and they've gone over every single one of those. All right, Minnesota's last 10 games. Minnesota's 4-6 in their last 10 games, guys. They're 4-6 against the spread, and they're 6 to the over, 4 to the under. Look at the trend. You notice the trend? And then Dallas, they're 8-2 in their last 10. 7-3 against the spread, and 6 to the over, 4 to the under in their last 10, guys. I mean, that kind of tells you what you need to know on that. Especially with Derek Lively out. I mean, with Derek Lively out, I believe this team is like, I want to say 8-5 or no, 5-8, but hold on. With Derek Lively this season, they are 35-20 on the season, and without him, they are 15-12 on the season, guys. So their defense really hasn't been there for them without Derek Lively. I'm just telling you on the season with the way I betted on them, you know what I mean? And yeah, he's going to be a key cog missing in this game. So straight up on the playoffs so far, Minnesota's 8-6 so far, whereas Dallas is 11-4 in the playoffs. As an away underdog, Minnesota's 12-12 on the season, whereas as a home favorite, Dallas is 24-11. Okay, now in the playoffs against the spread, Minnesota's 8-6, whereas Dallas is 10-5. And then when you look as an away underdog, Minnesota's 13-11, whereas as a home favorite, Dallas is 19-16. And then over-unders, okay, so far this playoff, it's been 9 to the over and 5 to the under for Minnesota, and it's been 8 to the over and 7 to the under for Dallas. Now, as an away underdog, it's been 14 to the over and 10 to the under on the season, whereas as a home favorite, Dallas has been 15 to the under and 15 to the over and 20 to the under, guys. And what you're looking at when you're looking at what they've been averaging so far for this series, they've played 3 games. In the last 3 games, Minnesota's averaged 106.7 points per game, whereas Dallas has averaged 111 points per game so far in this playoff matchup. Now remember, the team totals for this is Mavericks at 105.5 and Timberwolves at 104.5, guys. I would lean towards the over on both of them. Especially with no Derek Lively. With no Derek Lively, that really is going to hurt the Dallas Mavericks. He's really a key cog in their rotations, but we'll see how Maxi Kleber is able to step up. I do, however, like Dallas to win this game. The The only way that the Minnesota Timberwolves can win this game is if they come out and they take advantage of the size advantage they have. Karl Anthony Towns stops shooting so many threes, actually puts his back to the basket and drops some people in the bucket, man. I'm not sure if he's going to do that, though. And that's why I'm picking to go ahead and the sweep for the Mavericks money line. If you want to buy some points with the Timberwolves, buy them. I believe they will be good with some points. But I just can't put my faith in the Minnesota Timberwolves right now. And it's strictly because Rudy Gobert can't cover more than the center. And Cat can't understand that, you are 6'11". You need to be putting people in the bucket, man. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't get it. Maybe in a couple of years or maybe next year, this will shape out a little bit better for Minnesota and the youth that they have. But right now, guys, I got to stick with Kyrie. I got to stick with Luka. And I got to believe that they can pull this out. Now, like I said, Minnesota does stand a chance. Minnesota's better on the road than they are at home, and Dallas is better on the road than they are at home. So to go to a Game 5 would definitely be something that could happen. I just don't think it's going to happen, guys. So I'm not going to tell you that's going to happen. You are free to pick what you want, but I'm just giving you the information. That's why I come on here, to give you all the information. And give you an opportunity to make a wise decision, guys. I will be putting my plays in the comments. Y'all have a blessed day. Stay safe. I hope everybody gets to the window, man. I'm going to holler at y'all. Peace.